There's nothing like the taste of a garden fresh tomato or crisp lettuce grown from your own backyard. However, if you don't have the time or patience, joining a community-supported agricultural group, also known as a CSA, is one way to enjoy delicious produce every week. Farmer Daniel Greenfield from the Greenfield Berry Farm in Peninsula is here to explain how it works. Welcome to the program, Daniel.
Thank you.
So, what exactly is a CSA and how did this type of program get started?
Well, as you said, CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture, and it all began actually about 50 years ago in Japan. And a group of folks were looking to have some food grown for them to make sure that there weren't pesticides on it and it was as fresh as they could possibly get. So they actually enlisted the help of a farmer, and they went in together and they bought the seed money for the farmer, and the farmer grew the food for them, and whatever they would get, and that's how it originated. About 20 years after that, it came to the United States, and people have been doing that ever since here. And the model's changed a little, and now that the farmers are actually going to look for the community rather than the community finding the farmer. So that's the origins of it.
How does it work from a financial standpoint? Do you pay a flat fee? Do you get produce all summer, fall? How does that work?
Right, so people pay a flat fee up front, and that then entitles them to come back to the farm once a week and pick up produce. We do all the harvesting, and then we have it all laid out in the barn for them and tell them exactly what they're to take home. They bring their baskets or bags, and it's whatever's in season. So this is basically an exercise in figuring out what's in season in your area. So it's all about seasonality. So this time of year, it's kind of early spring still, people would be getting a lot of leafy greens, lettuces, turnips and radishes and green onions. They'd be making fabulous salads, and asparagus is still available, but you'll be getting into some more traditional things like tomatoes and peppers, heirloom varieties of all sorts very soon. There should be nutritional difference, and there should also be a taste difference, because we are harvesting either the day before or the day of that people are picking up. So there's nothing quite like a vine-ripened tomato or anything else that we are harvesting at that time. Freshness is key to flavor, and so we are picking things when they are ripe. Stuff that people are getting at the grocery store may have been shipped across country or across continents, and that is not quite the same. You lose freshness, and also it is not as nutritious as a fully ripened fruit or vegetable.
So if somebody at home has a family member that doesn't like vegetables, this might be a way to get them to enjoy them better.
Well, people don't even realize they like certain things. People don't realize they like beets until we've showed them what a good beet would taste like, or a good tomato. So yes, and we're always preparing foods and giving people ideas there in the barn. We have a sample tray for them, and people are realizing that good foods are foods that are fresh and local. This is what the chefs know, and this is what people figure out, that it tastes better if it's grown local and it's fresh.
Now let's talk a little bit about the Greenfield Berry Farm. It's somewhat unique in regards to your property. Can you share that with our audience?
Well, the Greenfield Berry Farm is a part of a farming program in the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, which is quite unique. It's part of a program called the Countryside Initiative. In a sense, well, farming is being done within the boundary of a national park. That's not done. That's not a very common thing. The superintendent 15 years ago or so went off to Europe, the park superintendent, and saw farming done in public lands and said, well, this would be a great model for our national park. They had some old farmsteads and the tradition of farming, and so they wanted to preserve that agricultural tradition here in our national park. So they started this program. They enlisted the help of a nonprofit organization called the Countryside Conservancy, and they formed this program, and anybody could write proposals. They put out requests for proposals, and anybody was able to to write the proposal and compete for one of these farms. And about 11 years ago, I did that, and my proposal was chosen, and I've been farming now for about 11 years in the park.
Did you have any experience when you began?
I had started thinking about, I just finished up a PhD program, but I had started thinking about the possibility of farming as an occupation. But I started volunteering on farms, and I started taking extension classes and workshops and preparing for the possibility. But no, I didn't. Nothing quite prepares you for farming than actually farming.
How did this change you as a person? Or did it change you as a person?
Yes, I think it probably changed me a much deeper appreciation for the hard work that really goes into growing and producing food. I had a long-standing love of nature that I brought to this, but the work that it really takes to be a farmer, you learn that the hard way. Yeah.
We have to call you Dr. Farmer now, since you have
Sure.
a PhD.
Sure, my family does that. Mm-hmm.
How can people reach you if they want to join the CSA or do some berry picking at your farm? What's the best way to reach you?
You could go to my website, www.greenfieldberryfarm.com, or you can follow us on Facebook. Call us to see when blueberry picking is available also. But yeah, I encourage everybody to join the CSA. Better to join sooner than later, but if you don't get around to it for a few weeks, that's fine. We'll get you in regardless. We'll just kind of prorate you and figure out how to get you in, but please do join.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Mind, Body, and Spirit.